Hello, everybody. Welcome to Red Conrad's Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Red Conrad. As always, you can view the blog posts that correspond to these podcast episodes at redconrad.com and click on the blog. You can find your way back to the podcast at redconrad.com by clicking on podcast. From that page, you can either listen on Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, or Pocket Casts. I am working on getting on other platforms. This episode, I am going to be discussing diets and dieting. Obviously, the broader definition of the word, the exact meaning of the word, refers to just, what do you eat in general? How do you live in general? How much at a time do you eat? How much space in between do you eat? But in modern society, when people consider dieting or think of dieting, they think of these fad diets like Weight Watchers, Atkins, the keto diets, and that's what I'm going to be discussing here. You can go to redconrad.com in the blog. You will find the blog post discusses dieting. It's called Dieting is Dangerous. Here's why and what to do, or what you should do. That's the blog post that's going to contain more information about what I'm saying here. Now, the reason why these fad diets, if you're thinking about going on one, or if you are on a fad diet, I recommend that you don't do the diet. Stop doing the diet. Look into the diet. Understand what it is that diet is doing to your body. The sad reality is that one of these diets are extremely restrictive. They're very hard to do. Most people, when they start one of these diets, they don't last on them at all. That they can't finish them because of the fact that they're too restrictive. And those that do stay on the diets will typically stay on the diets longer than they're supposed to. And just not realize what's happening to the body. A lot of people start these diets without any recommendation from a doctor or a dietitian. So they might not even need the diet for health purposes. And most people have no clue what these diets are actually doing to their bodies. Now, the problem with most diets, such as Weight Watchers, the Atkins diet, and other fad diets, is that you're cutting out large chunks of nutrition. You're going to be eating a nutritionally deficient diet. So yeah, you are going to see results. You are going to lose weight, but the problem with that is a lot of that weight is going to be water weight, especially if you're using the keto diet. Most of that weight is water weight. It's not actual fat content. And what you need to understand is these diets, when you're dieting, your body pretty much goes into starvation mode. Okay? So, rather than burning the fat, it's actually storing the fat and burning your muscle tissue. What the diets are actually doing to your body, okay, is it's slowing down your metabolism and it's slowing the rate at which your body's burning calories. It's increasing your body's efficiency and bringing every possible calorie out of the food you do eat, so you digest food faster and get hungrier quicker. It causes you to crave high-fat foods. It increases your appetite. Reduces your energy levels. It lowers your body temperature so that you're always cold, and you're also using less energy. It reduces the ability to feel hungry or full, which makes it confusing to your body, it becomes easier to confuse hunger with emotional needs. And it reduces the total amount of muscle tissue, including the loss of the heart muscle. And it increases the fat storage enzymes and decreases the fat release enzymes. And it could also possibly do damage to your blood vessels, which would increase the risk of heart disease. And these diets are also extremely dangerous if you're a diabetic. One, the stress you're putting on your body if you're not diabetic could create type 2 diabetes. Believe it or not, any diet that's under 1,200 calories is considered a starvation diet. And when you're starving yourself, your body's gonna try to react. It's gonna give you warning signs that's in trouble, which would be like insomnia, fatigue, increased stress, and that sort of thing. Most people don't listen to this. So when the body doesn't get a response from you as it's crying out, "I'm in trouble, this is what I need," it tries to fend for itself. So it starts attacking itself and tries to respond in the best way it knows how to. And this could inadvertently create type 2 diabetes if you're not already diabetic, and if you are diabetic, it can make your diabetes worse. Particularly the keto diet. If you're diabetic and you go on the keto diet, it could cause ketoacidosis. Ketosis is actually a mild form of ketoacidosis, and ketoacidosis is actually the leading cause of deaths of diabetics, type 1 diabetics, under the age of 24. If you're a type 2 diabetic, I still wouldn't try the keto diet because it is a low-calorie, low-carb diet, and it could create a problem for type 2 diabetics as well. If you would like to do a keto diet or dieting in general, the proper way to diet would be consuming a non-GMO and organic diet. Slowly transition. You don't, people will try saying, well, the non-GMO or organic foods are expensive. Not really. Shop around. There are plenty of affordable brands and supermarkets that are actually the same price or cheaper than traditional supermarkets with all your traditional foods, the conventional foods. But you don't have to make a transition all at the get-go, all in one shot. All you got to do is, say tomatoes is a staple of the vast majority of your meals. Tomato products, tomatoes, tomato sauces, tomato pastes. So start off by buying all your tomato products non-GMO or organic. And then let's say you, at least 2-3 times of the week you're eating some kind of chicken. So now that all your tomato products are non-GMO or organic, transition over to the free-range, antibiotic-free, hormone-free chicken. And just kind of gradually go from there until eventually all your foods are non-GMO or organic. Slowly cut out all fast food from your diet. Now, once you're on a strictly non-GMO and organic diet, then at that point you can try to naturally go into ketosis. Though I also recommend going on a non-GMO sourced dietary supplement. The brand doesn't really particularly matter as long as it's non-GMO sourced and micronized to guarantee maximum absorption, which is very important, especially if you're diabetic. I do have brands that I recommend, a brand that I recommend and use myself as a type 2 diabetic, and I swear by these products. You can hop on over to redconrad.com and click on health products to check them out. But once you're on a non-GMO and organic diet, because if you try doing this beforehand, it's going to be extremely dangerous for your health. You need the nutrition in your body. So after you've converted completely over to a non-GMO organic diet, and preferably added some form of non-GMO sourced dietary supplement to your diet, you pick a time frame out, whether it's 10 hours of the day or 12 hours of the day. That's going to be the only part of the day that you eat food. Alright, so let's say for argument's sake you gotta be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. So at 7 o'clock in the morning will be your breakfast, and then no later than 7 o'clock at night will be your dinner or your very last snack for the day. Then from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., you're not eating anything. You know, you can have a cup of coffee, creamer in it, or whatever if you want to cheat, but you're not really eating anything. This is called intermittent fasting. And what it does is, with the aid of the nutrition in your body, so you don't go into shock, and hopefully, you know, if you're depending on your health, don't go into ketoacidosis. Your body will naturally go into ketosis overnight. Once the blood glucose goes down, the body will start producing ketones for energy. And your body actually burns more calories in your sleep than it does during the day. Anyways, now that's a safer way of dieting, because not only by switching to healthier foods, you can eat the same amount of food as you're eating now. You don't got to cut anything out of your diet. You can still eat your sweets as long as they're made at home with organic ingredients, no additives or preservatives, or from a local organic bakery that doesn't add any preservatives or additives to their bakings. Alright, you're not really switching up your lifestyle all that much. You're just eating healthier foods, you're adding supplements to your diet. And what's going to happen is, because you're doing intermittent fasting, and you're supplying your body with nothing but pure nutrition, no chemicals, no pesticides, no genetic modified foods, no over-processed foods. So your body's only getting pure nutrition from real food. The body's going to be able to function at peak performance, which is going to allow it to do what it needs to do. So if, say for argument's sake, you're 30 pounds overweight, within a few months' time, you're going to lose that 30 pounds, but you're not going to go any under that. What's going to happen is your body's actually going to be able to manage itself, so whatever weight is supposed to be healthy for you, that's what your body's going to get to and hold you at. But you need to continue eating healthy, eating non-GMO and organic, and if you're using dietary supplements, non-GMO source dietary supplements, you need to keep on using those supplements. You cannot go back to eating fast food. You cannot go back to eating conventional foods. You know, a break every now and again, like maybe once a month, you're gonna treat yourself to McDonald's or something. That's fine, but you can't have it every day or every week, because you're gonna regain all that weight. It might take a year, it could take longer than a year, but it's gonna come back. You need to stay eating healthy. You need to stay on that non-GMO organic diet. And you can look this up, but the keto diets really only became a fad starting with the Atkins diet. Prior to Dr. Atkins, these low-calorie, low-carb diets, these keto diets, was really fine-tuned back in the 20s for children, to help them control the epileptic seizures. These diets were not meant for adults. Now, if you are an adult and you're going on a diet, the only way you should diet as an adult, whether it be a low-carb, low-calorie diet or any kind of diet, would be through a prescribed diet from your doctor, your fitness coach, or a registered dietitian. And then you only do that diet that they recommend, that they prescribe for you, based on your health needs, for only as long as they prescribe it for, under their direct supervision. If you're not dieting via a prescription from a doctor, registered nutritionist or dietitian, or a fitness coach, don't do it. If you're going to use a diet longer than what's prescribed for, stop. because these diets were designed to help children with epileptic seizures. They were not intended for adults. And it is possible to lose weight on a 2,000, 3,000, or even 5,000 calorie diet, depending on what results you're seeking. If you're looking to bodybuild, obviously you would want a higher calorie diet, obviously with the right foods, not junk food. But the right way to diet would be to consume the proper amount of calories that your body tells you it needs. Just instead of eating fast food and junk food, it needs to be the non-GMO and organic counterparts. And obviously within reason. If you only have, say, one bowl of cereal for breakfast, then when you switch to the non-GMO or organic counterpart of that cereal, that's all you have, that one bowl of cereal for breakfast. If it works out where it's less calories than the counterpart, so be it. If it works out where it's more calories, so be it. It's a different kind of calorie. It's kind of hard to explain that, but it is. What matters is the nutrition your body's getting, so that your body can function properly and use those calories and use those nutrients the right way, and you will get results. And you do not want to starve yourself. The big problem with these fad diets also is that through starving yourself, it puts the body in starvation mode, right, which I said a few minutes ago, but it's gonna, what I'm doing, along with the burning of the muscle, eating the muscle, it's actually going to store that fat. So you're losing weight, but you're losing muscle mass, which weighs heavier than fat, and water weight. So when you stop that diet, you've actually got more body fat content than before you started the diet. So now once you're eating normal again, the reason why you're going to get all that weight back is because your body's now replacing the muscle that you lost. That's where all that extra weight is coming from. So the proper way to lose the weight, like I said, the right way is healthy foods, non-GMO organic foods, non-GMO sourced dietary supplements. And people that do have the weight return a year later, 2 years later, go on another diet. And they're constantly going from one diet to the next. They wind up developing depression and or anxiety. A lot of these people wind up becoming anorexic or bulimic. That's not healthy. What you need to understand is image is not important. You need to want to do this to get the results you seek for you, and only you. You need to be content with yourself, not what society thinks of you, or not what society thinks we should all look like. We're not all meant to look the same or be the same. And there are unhealthy thin people, and there are healthy heavy people. We all have different bone structures. We're all meant to be different weights based on our genetics and where our ancestry comes from. Like a lot of guys, for example, they can build muscle pretty easily. I can't. A few years ago, I bounced from 5 to 20 pounds underweight. A few years ago, I tried to bodybuild to pick up my weight via muscle mass. I got real toned and real strong, but I can't build muscle for the life of me. I can't get myself to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Bill Goldberg or what's his name? Don Johnson, The Rock, WWE. Is his first name Don? I can't get myself to look like that. I worked out for an hour to 2 hours every day. I was on a high protein and creatine diet that everybody recommended. I couldn't do it. I'm still pretty small. I'm toned. I'm strong. But I'm small. I'm not big. My body just won't do it. And it took me a while to be comfortable with that idea. Aside from the fact that I think that some of these guys that are as big as Arnold Schwarzenegger used to be before he started gaining weight, I think they look nasty. I mean, it's one thing to have muscle, but it's nothing to look like your muscles on your muscles have muscles. You know, so if I did manage to get that big, I don't know how I would have liked myself. But somewhere in between, you know, being scrawny and there, I might have tolerated. My body just won't do it. And I'm fine with that. Some guys look good like that. Some guys can look good scrawny like myself. The same applies for women. Some women can look beautiful thin. Yet there are women that look far more beautiful curvy than they do thin. It's just the way it is. I've seen many women that felt they were overweight, and they really weren't. I mean, they had some curves, but I wouldn't have considered them overweight. And they lost the weight, and they actually looked a lot sexier when they were still curvy. Losing all that weight, they just started looking like, you know, well, they are bones, skin and bones. I mean, they did have meat on them, they did have, you know, they were fit, they had muscle, but they just, no. They looked a lot sexier with curves. And then there are other women that look sexier, thin, and fit than curvy. It's just, so you have to understand what your body, how your body is supposed to look, how your body is when it's actually healthy. And those are the results you need to be going after. And you need to be going after those results for you. Not because society says you need to look like a freaking toothpick. All this skin and bones, toothpick thin bullshit really needs to stop. These fad diets need to stop. By going on these fad diets, you're killing yourselves. You're also turning your body into breeding grounds for future ailments. Where you're looking at developing diabetes in your future, osteoarthritis, cardiovascular disease, kidney stones, kidney disease, liver disease. All these could be coming down the road for you in your future if you utilize these fad diets, especially if you stay on them longer than you're supposed to. Or if you want to lose weight, if you want to get fit, if you're just trying to improve your health overall, the best way to do it is non-GMO and organic foods. Get away from the fast food and slowly transition your food at home to the non-GMO and organic counterparts of all the food that you buy now. The sooner you can make that transition so everything is non-GMO and organic, the faster you'll start seeing the results. And you don't really need to change anything about your lifestyle. Just by changing those foods out, and just by adding a non-GMO sourced dietary supplement to your diet, you will be surprised at how much energy you will have, how much focus and memory retention you'll have, the mental clarity, the weight management, the ability to build muscle and lose excess weight, anxiety control. I mean, the benefits are absolutely endless, and it is by far the safest and the healthiest way to get healthy. So please, do yourself a favor, do your body a favor, and do not use any fad diets. No keto diets. Do it the safely healthy way by intermittent fasting once you're on a non-GMO organic diet. No fad diets, such as the Weight Watchers and Atkins and other diets that are out there. Make the switch to healthy foods. Add non-GMO source dietary supplements to your diet. You will be absolutely amazed at how wonderful you will feel. And stop worrying about what society thinks. Start to look at you for you. Start to love you for you. Want the results because you want to be healthy, not because society is demanding it. And you will be amazed at how quickly you will see results and how quickly you will feel much better about yourself. For additional information, a little bit more in depth of what was stated in this podcast episode, hop on over to redconrad.com, click on blog, and look for the blog post titled "Dieting is Dangerous to Your Health. This is why and what you should do." Again, redconrad.com, click on blog, and read "Dieting is Dangerous to Your Health. This is why and what you should do" for more in-depth information of what was stated in this podcast episode. Thank you all for listening. If you got any benefit out of this podcast episode at all, please share out this podcast and the blog at redconrad.com to all your family and friends on social media. I'd really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode of Red Conrad's Wellness Podcast. Thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful and blessed day.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.